Today's morning coffee vinyl side. Lionel Hampton, Golden Vibes, 1959. As a guitar and bass player, I'm well aware of the hierarchy of cool within bands and ensembles as it relates to instruments, and I've been lucky, by my estimation, to sit up near the top. Some instruments are just considered more cool than others. That's just how it is. And most of us know where our instruments sit on that hierarchy, except the few in denial. But there are people who believe the earth is flat, so someone thinking their flute is cooler than, say, a Rhodes piano is just fooling themselves. The rest of us know. Live and let live, though. Yet of all the instruments that are available to play, there's one that exists on its own plane of cool that transcends the usual hierarchies. It's cooler than sax or trumpet, cooler than bass, cooler than drums and guitar. I've got no problem admitting that. It's cooler than them all. And it's the vibraphone. Lionel Hampton, one of jazz's most celebrated percussionists, started his career in music as a young teen, taking drum and xylophone lessons from Jimmy Bertrand, an early blues and jazz player active at the 20s Chicago blues and jazz scene. Still a teen, Lionel attended a Louis Armstrong gig with whom his teacher Jimmy Bertrand was known to play, and had one of those lightning bolt experiences when Louis stepped forward on the stage to take a solo and the crowd went crazy. That's where he got the bug. He gigged and recorded as a drummer, developing a flashy style with stick twirling and paired stick playing, but something in him knew that in order to step out front, he needed to add melody to his repertoire, so he began to practice the vibraphone. So what's a vibraphone? Well, like a xylophone and similar to a marimba, it uses tuned metallic bars to produce pitch that you play with mallets or sticks. It's tuned in such a way as to enhance its pleasant harmonics and the overtones produced by the vibrations, as well as the principal, fundamental, and octaves that are achieved while being played. It's both very mathematical in its conception, but equally artful, the art lying in the sweetening of the tuning during its design and construction for consonance. The sound is amplified by tubular resonators mounted below the bars, and coolest of all, that sound is oscillated by a motor-driven rotator or oscillator that produces a vibration effect that gives the sound depth and changes the way it's perceived by the ear in space. It's hauntingly beautiful and otherworldly. So Lionel continued to gig and practice till a fateful day in 1930 when his band was asked to support Louis Armstrong for some stage and studio gigs. Lionel at some point doubled one of Louis' solos on the vibes, and the legend was so taken with it that he requested Lionel double him on song choruses going forward. This sanction of approval from perhaps jazz's greatest and most revered father was the moment that the vibraphone assumed its rightful position as a main stage instrument in jazz. Vibraphones are not cheap, nor are they easy to transport, and the only time I ever got to play one was in the green room of a festival where they had one set up for rehearsal. But man, oh man, do they ever come alive when that oscillator starts up. The notes envelop you in a warm embrace. I loved spinning this album. The sad thing, though, is that side 2 has a long scratch running through most of the tracks, rendering it nearly impossible to play through. But side 1 was lovely. It's a good morning spin, but where you want to play this is at night. Say sometime between 9:30 and 10:45. Low light, some candles, maybe a glass of something to sip. I think you get what I'm saying. It's hard to imagine a warmer, cool,